So my husband and I are in the market for a rental property and we need to buy this thing ASAP. Why? Because we just talked with our CPA this morning and she said there is a massive tax break if we can buy a property, turn it into a rental this year. There's a couple of different strategies. We're considering moving into a property. So our primary residence moving and then leasing out the current one that we're in now. A couple of different thoughts we haven't completely settled on yet. So we may move into a primary for our pleasure, or we may move into a temporary rental, or we could purchase the property and make it a rental. Anyway, all that's secondary. At this point, we're on the hunt, massive hunt to purchase property before the year 2022 is over. So I do believe in real estate, guys. And I know everyone is afraid to buy real estate. I am not afraid to buy real estate, but it does help to have a tax, like we're talking probably tens of thousands of dollars that we can save on our taxes from purchasing rental property through cost segregation. If you want to know, just YouTube that, put cost segregation and rental property in YouTube and you can find all kinds of details. We are doing that. So I wanted to make this video to give you the process at which I do personally to purchase rental property, how to find a good deal. Now, sometimes it's more important to find the right area, the right neighborhood, but sometimes it's about scoring a good deal. So I'm going to show you how I score a good deal, and hopefully whenever we contract on this property, I will keep you informed on this process. And I'm holding my phone. I'm in the studio, but my tripod is at our church. I forgot it there, so that's why I'm holding my phone. But I'm going to do a share screen so I can show you exactly how I find really good deals on rental property. Also, if you're looking to buy a rental property, I have an amazing investment agent. He specializes only in investment deals on our team, so fill out the investment property questionnaire in the link below if you're looking at buying a home here, or maybe you want to buy a home, lease it out immediately, move in it later while the prices are low. I don't know, fill out the dream home questionnaire. Anyway, let me show you what we do. All right, so this is the back end of my MLS, which is what your agent, if you purchased in Dallas-Fort Worth, would have access to as well. We give you front-end access, but this is what we as agents do. But this will also help you to know, like if you're searching in Zillow or something, how to set up a search for yourself. So the first thing I do is I have active and coming soon listings only. You can put your price point in here, which for now I'm just starting with anything under $400,000, okay? I do want 3 bedrooms or more. And I want the property, at least for this first search, to be the year 2000 or newer, because we're not very handy. We have to send a handyman to do everything. I put the zip codes that I like in. These are great zip codes, even if you want to pause the video to invest in. 76248 is Keller, so it's going to be difficult to find a property under 400, but I thought I might get lucky, and depending on the property, it may pop up. The homes are not as new in 76248 as they are in 76244, which is why I have this zip code. Several agents on our team love to invest in this zip code because it has Keller schools, so it's desirable for families. And the homes are newer, so it's less maintenance, and they're still relatively inexpensive. I did a map search here to kind of show you where I'm looking. I'm looking on the Fort Worth side of things. The North Dallas side of things are going to be much more expensive and a little older. And so this is a really good area. So what I'm talking about, here's Keller. Look, nothing's popping up in what we call Keller proper. And but this is the zip code 76244. And this is where you can find newer homes, yet with Keller school districts. There are some properties over here that may be in Keller ISD as well, which I may consider. Up here is Roanoke, which is desirable as well. Nothing is popping up in the actual city. However, that zip code kind of goes through here. So I kind of keep it open, okay? Just to give you an idea if you wanted to do a rental property in this area. You could do some up here. I don't want to go that far, but it would be okay property. Is on Highway 114. This area is booming like big time, so all of this area is going to be the next hot spot. But for us, we want to go here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a map and include some of these. And that's how we're going to do it. Again, your local real estate agent will know the areas really well, so you can consult them on that as well. I have investment agents as well as buyer specialists that help in this as well. So I also know the subdivisions that are prime, and so will your agent if you are buying from afar. For a rental property, Arcadia Park would be okay. Harvest Ridge would be okay. All of these actually would be okay neighborhoods for rental. But if there's going to be a prime neighborhood, I would say Villages of Woodland Springs would be better. And what I was looking for was Heritage, and it's not on here because Heritage sells. That would be a prime community as well. Vineyards at Heritage is not the same as Heritage. So anytime there's a property under $400,000 in Heritage, I am excited about that. We already have another rental in that property, in that neighborhood. Saratoga is a very good property. So what I want to do first is kind of zone in on the neighborhoods that I know are great investments long-term. McPherson Ranch, they keep that neighborhood pretty upkept, and so that would be a good neighborhood as well. So first I'm going to zone in on the best neighborhoods and look at the property. This is 395, 3 bedrooms, 1927 square feet, 2005. And I like that. Actually, let me go back. I do like that home. I'm going to zoom in on it in a minute. But the second thing you want to do if you want to find a good deal is you want to look for properties that are on the market 30 days plus. And so that took my matches down, okay? So that's a really good thing. If it's a rental property, I do not want a pool. And so that's kind of a basic. I want to leave it as basic as possible. In this area, we don't really have condos or townhomes, but you could choose single family. Okay, so here again, if I sort by subdivision name, that property in Saratoga is no longer on here because they don't last as long. So that's newly listed, which I'll go back and take a look at that. But the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking through the neighborhood to see if any neighborhoods catch my attention. Heritage Glen, that's not the same neighborhood either as Heritage. So there really isn't one that catches my attention with the exception of McPherson Ranch would probably be my favorite neighborhood out of all of those. 1,500 square feet. Oh, I've looked at this property. I like this property and I may end up putting an offer in on it. Basically, what you're looking for is ugly photos. I do not like these photos. They're pretty ugly. Like they're not done by a professional. You're also looking for properties that are not updated, but easy fixes, right? So the paint is ugly. That's an easy fix. The carpet, ugly. Easy fix. You know, things like this, these are all cosmetic, easy fixes that, man, I could just put a little bit of money in this thing and it could sell. Now, I know this floor plan in particular. It's the exact same floor plan of another rental we have in Heritage. And so I already know that I like this floor plan. I like it because the ceilings are high in the living room. It's only 1,500 square feet. However, it makes it look larger. This is a fantastic floor plan. I like to see that it has gas. Not that it's a deal killer, but gas is nice. The appliances don't match, but again, for rental, not the end of the world. And then I just scroll through to see if there's any issues with the property. I love the fact that it needs paint. I love the fact that the photos are ugly. And this is not how I would list a home, guys. But all that being said, I could clean this property up and it would make a fantastic rental. So the good news is it's in a great neighborhood. This neighborhood is generally kept pretty well, nicely. It's in Northwest ISD, which is another good school district. It's not Keller ISD, but they are hand in hand when it comes to test scores. So it's a good, and Byron Nelson has a good reputation for high school. So you always want to look at the high schools. This is a good location, okay? So I like this. I will probably end up putting an offer in on this property. There you have it. This is a good one. And so with that being said, it was listed originally at $343, which if it were listed properly, it probably could get that, okay? It's listed at $320. It's vacant. We'll probably put in an offer at about $299. So I like that property. So I checked it because I like it. Now what I do is I'll go through every single listing. You know, $284 is a really good price. I mean, it has a really good... Arcadia Park is fine. It's a good rental neighborhood. And I'm just going through the pictures. They did a good job. Professional photos. Look, everything looks all nice and snazzy. It is virtually staged. That's why it looks snazzy. This is ugly flooring. And so we would probably go in. My husband used to be in flooring. He doesn't sell flooring anymore, but we'd probably put some vinyl plank down because it's cheap and it's not as loud as laminate and it's not as expensive as wood, but it might be easy fix. I'd have to ask him if he could just lay it over this or not. Paint looks a little bit blue. It could just be the coloring. Who knows? I'll have to walk this property to see. But what I like is, okay, they painted the cabinets. It looks clean. I like that they left the curtains up, not because they're pretty, but because anything that detracts from the home, makes it less desirable, is always good. Virtually staged. So this is a nice property. I could see myself putting in an offer on this. The other thing I look for, this is a little side note, y'all, is I like to know... You know, I want to make sure it doesn't back up to a major highway, and it doesn't. It is on a corner lot, faces north, which is very good. One thing that I'm leery of, not necessarily on rental property, but just personal property. If we decided to move into this property, then I have a preference that my backyard does not face west or the front facing east. And the reason is because of Texas summer heat. So in other words, like this property here, this property here, the backyard faces west, and I don't like that because it's really hot in the evenings, and I'd rather it face any direction. That's a little side note if you're moving into it. If it's a rental, not that big a deal. So that would be a consideration. That would be okay. And then I just go one by one through these. One strategy you could do, see, these are all decent properties. One strategy that you could do is I was looking at this one for quite a while, guys. Crawford Farms is a very good neighborhood, and it's 2,100 square feet. I like this property because it has great curb appeal. It's really cute. You can do a couple of things with this to make it even pop more. And it needs, we would put vinyl plank and get rid of the carpet. Probably out here as well, but it has a study, it has a formal dining, there's extra rooms. Anytime you can get 3 bedrooms plus a study or 4 bedrooms, it's really good. You can easily update this kitchen if you wanted to. For a rental, you don't have to. You really wouldn't even have to do a whole lot to this unless the carpet was bad when you walked it to rent it out. If we moved into it, I would do some things just for my personal preference. If we move into it, it's just going to be a temporary holding place for us until we do find our real primary residence, which we personally like. Keller Trophy Club, South Lake, that area up there. That's what our personal preference is. So this would be a temporary living place for us. Anyway, so those are some thoughts. That's what I do there. Again, I want to know what's the orientation of the home. Backyard faces north, which is great. It has a real tiny backyard, but it doesn't really matter that much for a rental. And I don't really personally care. Unless it was going to be long-term for me, then I'd want a pool. Just some thoughts. Okay, so that's that. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going through every single listing. Like, I'll go through every single photo of every single listing. I don't prefer to have a 2-story for a rental. I'm not saying that it's out, but I prefer having a 1-story as a rental because they do sell just slightly faster than 2 stories. It's not a deal killer. I would say a deal killer is that the primary bedroom is not on the second floor. If the primary bedroom is on the second floor, it's a deal killer for me because it's hard to resell those homes. Now, I know some people prefer the primary bedroom on the second floor for their reasons. I know that it's a northern thing, or maybe people from other countries like it on the second floor, but people in Texas, the Texas culture is they want the primary bedroom on the bottom floor. Again, for a rental property, I wouldn't mind the wood on the back. However, I prefer brick, but it's not a deal killer for a rental property. These make really good first-time homebuyer properties. So it's not a deal killer, but these are just some personal preferences and opinions that I'm inserting into this video. Tahoma Ridge is okay. It's on the west side of the 35 that I was talking about. Here's 35. It's actually very close to 35, which are pros and cons. You tend to get better value, resale value, anything east of 35, but I wouldn't be opposed to buying a property over here for a couple of reasons. These are newer properties, as well as right behind all of this amazing shopping area. So this is all new shopping area. This is Presidio Village, and this is Alliance, and it's all amazing shopping. So it would always have great resale value. It's just east of 35, a little bit higher. Okay, but again, zooming in on this property, I'm looking at the orientation, and it's mainly the backyard is facing south, hair to the east, which is great. That's really good. Okay, so once you find a few properties that you are interested in, like say I click all these that I'm interested in, I don't know, I'm just clicking them, okay? Then what I would do is I will write up a bunch of offers, because look at how many days on the market these properties are. The older they're on the market, the better deal you can get. So I would write up an offer for all of these properties and put lowballs in, okay? And what I've done with many investors is we may type up 20 different offers with lowballs. And when I say lowball, if it's listed at 284, I may do 255, 260. I don't know. Let's see if they even bite, right? They may not be ready at 40 days, but maybe this one at 111 days might be ready to bite. And so if this is at 341, then maybe I'll offer 300, right? And then we can always negotiate. Yes, I do risk offending the seller, so I don't recommend, if you're putting an offer on a primary residence that you're in love with and you don't want to risk losing it, I don't recommend putting in low balls for those, because you can offend the seller and then they don't want to work with you and then you lose your dream home. But when you're putting in offers on a property that you don't really care so much if you get it or not, it's not an emotional purchase, then you can put in low ball offers. I don't recommend you look at all 5 properties and put in low ball offers. You're just wasting you're wasting everyone's time. What you want to do is put in a low ball offer, and if they bite and negotiate, then you can either jump out and take a look at it or get a video tour. If you're working with our team, we can get a video tour. But I wouldn't recommend getting a video tour of everything, because you're only going to have a handful that actually bite, okay? But it's a good strategy. Feel free to use this strategy. Basically, the main points is you want to find properties over 30 days on the market, send in low balls, target the best neighborhoods first. In fact, I'm actually going to go back and target that one property in Saratoga that, even though it's not been on the market for more than 30 days, I still want to take a look at it because I know the neighborhood's great. The homes in Saratoga usually don't last on the market for more than 30 days. So just a FYI, when everyone says the market has tanked, it has not. It has slowed down. But in the good neighborhoods, they're still selling quickly. So I know there's lots of news out there, and yes, the market could go down a little more in January and February. I anticipate that it's going to go back up, probably go back to a little more normal. Well, really, we're in a normal market right now. We're still in a seller's market, because if the average days on market is like 47, that's actually still a seller's market. So if it continues to pull back in the next 3 to 6 months, I'm okay with purchasing, because I feel like we've already had a 10 to 15% price hit. And I say hit, but really they were just inflated to begin with. I actually anticipated the prices to go down a little further than they have gone at this point. And so I'm wondering if they are going to go down as far as we had anticipated, because I thought they'd be down lower by now. So anyway, all that being said, I'm not concerned if it bottoms out in January, February. Those are actually the best times to purchase a home, is when it's bottoming out. And I know we can't predict the future, but I also think everything's on sale right now. Most of our buyers are saying they want to wait until the spring to purchase a home. And if all these people are going to wait until the spring, then I'm concerned that the market's going to go back up when people are not anticipating it. Those are just some feelings that we have from actual buyers. And I'm going to be doing a market update here pretty soon. But average days on market is 47 right now across Dallas-Fort Worth. So that's not really that bad. It's just different from this past year's market. So I hope this helps, and I will keep you posted on our journey.